सदस्यमान भक्तिसिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गो गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
हत्वा स्वरिक्ता स्पृधो आततायनो युधिष्ठिरो dharma vritam varishta sahanujay
Pratyavaruddha
bhojana katam pravritta kim akarashit tataha Shonaka uvacha hatva sarikta sprida atathayano Yudhishthiro dharma vritam varishta Sahanujay pratyavaruddha bhojana Katam pravritta kim akarashit Shonaka uvacha Adva svarikta sprida atathayano Yudhishthiro dharma vritam varishta Sahanujay pratyavaruddha bhojana Katam pravritta kim akarashit tata Shonaka inquired Atva after killing Varikta legal inheritance Spridha desiring to usurp Atatayanaha the aggressor Yudhishthiraha King Yudhishthir Dharma Vritam of those who strictly follow religious principles Varishtaha greatest Saha Anujay with his younger brothers Pratyavaruddha restricted Bhojanaha acceptance of necessities Katam how Pravritta engaged Kim what Akarashit executed Tataha thereafter Translation Shonaka Muni asked, after killing his enemies who desired to usurp his rightful inheritance, how did the greatest of all religious men, Maharaj Yudhishthir, assisted by his brothers, rule his subjects? Surely he could not freely enjoy his kingdom with unrestricted consciousness.
So, here the most important word is Yudhishthiro dharma bhritang varishta. Maharaj Yudhishthir was known as Dharmaraj, very strictly following religious principles. So, he killed, for his sake, 64 crores of men were killed in the battlefield of Kurukshetra. So he was not happy. Although the battle, the fight was a religious fight. It is not whimsical. Just like in the modern days, the politicians, they fight unnecessarily to fulfill their desire. Just like in our country, unnecessarily they divided Pakistan, and to fulfill the whims of the leaders, they are fighting. With nobody's gain, neither there is any religious principles. So fighting whimsically by the politicians, that is not sanctioned. That must be dharma juddha. Dharma Juddha means religious fight. Fight on religious principles. So, what was the religious principle? What is that man? Machi Tarana. Here it is said, Hatta Atotayina. Atotai means aggressor. If somebody comes to your home to kidnap your wife, to take by force your property, or to set fire in your house, he is called Atotai. He should immediately be killed. It is not that non-violence nonsense. If somebody is coming to attack you unnecessarily, you must kill him first. It is not Vaishnavism. Oh, this man is coming to kill me, all right, let me embrace him. No, that is not the role. When there is atutai, aggressor, you must fight, you must kill. That is religious. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Dharma Vritang Varishtha, he was so strictly followers of religious principles that when even Krishna advised him that you go and say some lies to Dronacharya, because Dronacharya will not believe anyone. You say and go there that your son Ashwatthama is dead. And Yudhishthira Maharaj hesitated. How can I say these lies? Of course, this is too much following religious principles. This is also another instruction. When Krishna says that you go and speak the lies, he should have done immediately. That is dharma. Because dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. Dharma means which is given by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is dharma. You cannot manufacture dharma. Just like nowadays, so many dharmas have been manufactured. They are not dharma. Dharma means the order which is given by the Lord. That is dharma. Just like Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamikam saranam vraja. We have manufactured so many dharmas, Hindu dharma, Muslim dharma, Christian dharma, Parsi dharma, Buddha dharma, this dharma, that dharma. They are not dharma. They are mental concoction. Mental concoction. Otherwise, there will be contradiction. Take for example, the Hindus think cow killing is adharma, and the Muslims think the cow killing is their dharma. Then which is correct? Whether cow killing is adharma or not adharma. So these are mental conduct. Chaitanya Chaitamritakar says, ei bhalo, ei mondo, sab mono dharma. Mental concoction. Real dharma is what is ordered by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. That is dharma. Therefore Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam vraja. Give up your all manufactured dharma. Here is the real dharma. Saranam vraja. just become surrender unto me, and that is your dharma. Dharmantu sakshat bhagavat pranita. Just like law. Laws can be manufactured or can be given by the government. You cannot make any law at your home. That is not law. Law means the order given by the government. The supreme government is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Aham sarvasya prabhava matta paratarang nanyat. There is nobody greater than Krishna. Therefore, the order given by Krishna is dharma. This Krishna consciousness movement is that dharma. Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam saranam braja. You give up all other so-called dharmas. This dharma, that dharma, so many dharmas. Simply just surrender unto me. So you are preaching the same principle, and that is confirmed by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Amar aggay guru haiya taro ei desh, jare dakho tare kaho Krishna upadesh. This is done. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not manufacture any new system of dharma. No. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself. Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Pradayati Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namini. So, the only difference is he is Krishna himself. The only difference is that Krishna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, directly orders that you give up all nonsense, simply surrender unto me. This is Krishna, because he is Supreme Personality of God, is giving directly order. The same Krishna, because people misunderstood him, even big scholars, they say it is too much, that Krishna is ordering like that. But they are rascals, they do not know, they cannot understand what is Krishna. Therefore, because people misunderstood him, Krishna came as a devotee to teach how to surrender to Krishna perfectly. Krishna came, just like sometimes my servant gives me massage. I say, by giving his head massage, do like this. So I am not his servant, but I am teaching him. Similarly, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Krishna himself, but he is teaching perfectly how to approach Krishna, how to serve Krishna. The same principle. Krishna said, you surrender unto me, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, you surrender to Krishna. So on principle there is no change. On principle there is no change. So, here Yudhishthira Maharaj, Dharma Bhitang Varishtha, of all the followers of religious principle, he is the foremost Varishtham. So he was very sorry that for my sake, for enthroning me, so many people have given their life. Not only his cousin brothers, the soldiers, because at that time, 5,000 years ago,
these kings or the emperors of Hastinapur were ruling all over the world. This planet was called Bharatvarsha, the whole planet, not this now small tract of land. The whole world was called Bharatvarsha. Formerly it was called Ilavati Varsha. Since the reign of Maharaj Bharat, this planet is called Bharatvarsha. So, the Pandavas or the Kurus, they were the rulers of the world. As such, when there was fight between the two sections of cousin brothers, from all parts of the world, somebody joined this side, somebody joined that side. So, I think in the Mahabharata it is stated that 64 crores of men were killed and many disappeared. Nobody knows about their whereabouts. So actually, Yudhishthira Maharaj, Dharma Vidang Varishtha, he was so great, stalwart, foremost, followers of religious principle, he was very, very sorry. For my sake, so many people laid down their life, so he was not happy. Therefore, in our Shastra, when you commit some necessary sinful activities, to counteract it, a fasting is recommended. Therefore, Yudhishthira Maharaj was observing fasting, taking little necessities. Therefore, Saunuk Muni is inquiring that Sahanujayi Pratabbaruddha Bhojana Kathang Pravitta Kimokaraj Vittataha. Then he was undergoing some prayaschitta system. Then how did he take the reins of ruling over the kingdom? That was his inquiry. Saunukarishi. Actually, the Srimad Bhagavatam was first of all, in the beginning, the first beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam was in front of Maharaj Parikshit. Sukadeva Goswami explained, and Suta Goswami was in that meeting also. So he learned explanation of Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami. This is called parampara system. Now, generally the professional reciters of Bhagavatam, they do not follow the parampara system. They make business. Just like we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we are discussing about the warfares. The professionals, they will go immediately to Raslila, as if these things are not necessary. Anyone who hears Bhagavatam from this professional, they do not know what are the other subject matter in Srimad Bhagavatam, because they haven't got the chance to hear. They do not discuss. Whenever there is recitation of Bhagavatam, it means they are discussing some Raslila. Because the Raslila is very palatable to the rascals. They think that Krishna is ordinary, a young boy, and the gopis are young girls. And as they read novel and dramas, one man, one woman, their activities, they think Bhagavad is like that. They think Archi Shiladhi Gurusu Nanavati. They think like that. The gopis, the Srimad Bhagavatam, the pastimes of Krishna in the gopi, it is most confidential part of Srimad Bhagavatam. It is to be relished by the liberated soul, not these ordinary persons who have got sex attraction. They are unfit for hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Rasa Leela. Unfit. So, unfortunately, these professional reciters, they do not begin Srimad Bhagavatam from the very beginning, where Vedanta Sutra is discussed. Athata Brahma Jigyasa, Janmadasya Jataha. So, Bhagavad begins with this word of Vedanta Sutra. Janmadasya Jataha Annayati Tatatascha Artheshu Avijñā Sarat. So it is in the beginning, Srimad Bhagavatam is the explanation of the Vedanta Sutra. Srila Jiva Goswami has recommended, therefore, one should learn Bhagavatam from a person who knows Vedanta Sutra. Sruta Grihitaya. Bhaktya Sruta Grihitaya. Bhakti should be generated Sruta Grihitaya by studying Vedanta Sutra. Now, Bhakti is not sentiment. Bhakti is the transcendental science. Therefore, in the Bhagavad Gita it is said, Jnani Visishyate. It should be in full knowledge. What is Krishna? Not that accepting Krishna as something fictitious. Even big scholars, Dr. Radha Krishna, Gandhi, they cannot understand Krishna. How they can understand? It is not understandable by the fools and rascals. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya jatatam api siddhyanam kaschid vetimam tata. So understand Krishna is not so easy thing. Manushyanam sahasreshu, out of many millions of persons, all rascals and fools, animals, what they will understand Krishna? Therefore Krishna personally says, Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid jatati siddhaya. Siddhi means perfection. All over the world we are touring, all full of rascals and fools. Nobody is trying to make his life perfect. What is that perfection? Paramang Siddhim. That perfection is Mamupita Konteya Dukkhalayam Asasatam Napnubanti Mahatmana Sang Siddhim Paramangata. To go back to home, back to Godhead, that is the highest perfection of life. Nobody knows what is Godhead. Nobody knows how to go back to Him. So, to understand Krishna and to become a devotee of Krishna, it is not very easy thing. Very, very difficult. But Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahavadana Avatar, he has distributed this Krishna science and love of Krishna in such a easy way that by his mercy Even a most rude person can also understand if he takes the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, Yudhishthira Maharaj was a Krishna Bhakta, and therefore he is explaining his Dharma Vitam Varishtha, the most foremost personality, because he knows he agreed to fight with his cousin brothers because Krishna wanted. Krishna, when Arjuna said, "My dear Krishna, there is no need of fighting because the other side, they are my brothers, nephews, I better prefer to give them the kingdom. I shall beg and leave, but I don't want to fight with my brother." Immediately Krishna condemned him. Kutaste kasmalamidam visami samupasti. What nonsense you are speaking. You must fight. Then still he was unwilling to fight. Therefore the whole Bhagavad Gita was spoken to him. And after explaining Bhagavad Gita, he inquired from Arjuna whether you are now determined to fight. Yathechasi tatha kuru. This liberty was given to Arjuna. I have explained to everything. Now whatever you like you can do. So Krishna does not force anyone to become Krishna Bhakta. But he gives the chance. He explains everything, that if you become Krishna Bhakta, surrender soul, then you will be happy. Otherwise you will not be happy. This is Krishna. Kuru, he says, Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja. He does not force. Now it is our choice whether we shall surrender to Krishna or not. These are the instructions of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, that one's ultimate goal of life is to surrender to Krishna. That is the ultimate goal of life. But they do not know it. Nati vidu sarthagating hi Vishnu. They do not. They think for some worldly happiness and go to some demigods. That is condemned in the Bhagavad Gita. Kamastasya hitagyana jajanti annadevata. They have lost their intelligence. Those who go to worship other demigods for some paltry benefit, temporary benefit. Antavattu phalam tesam tad bhavati alpamedasa. Those who are brain substance is not very much in good quantity. Instead of brain substance, there is cow dung. Such people go to worship the other demigods. There is no necessity. There is no necessity. Of course, we do not show any disrespect to any demigods. We offer all respect, but we do not accept that Krishna and all other demigods are on the same level. As the Mahavadi says, that either you chant Hare Krishna mantra or chant Durga Durga, Kali Kali, it is the same. This is Raskala. This is Raskala. Hare Rama, Shastra says, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevala. Shastra does not say that you chant this name, that name, any dog's name, cat's name, and it is all. Shastra does not. Shastra says, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevala. Kalu nasti, nasti, nasti. So, Jasastra vidimat sijja, bhattati kamakar, no siddhing savapnati. Anyone who avoids, disregards the injunction of the Shastras and acts whimsically, you'll never get perfection. No sukhang na parangati. Therefore, our principle is this Krishna consciousness movement means we strictly follow Krishna. Our leader is Krishna. Nitya nityanam, chetana chetananam. So everyone requires a leader. I have talked many times. The leader must be followed. When I was talking with Professor Kotovsky in Moscow, I asked him, where is the difference between your philosophy and our philosophy? You are following Lenin, we are following Krishna. So we have to follow one leader. You cannot avoid it. So he was silent, he could not reply. So, to become perfect, to achieve perfection, one has to follow a leader. So why should we follow the misleaders, the rascal leaders? Let us follow the perfect leader, Krishna, and become perfect. Thank you very much.
स्वामिनिति नाम्ने हस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देश तारणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंदा श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंदा हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा. So we'll be having question answers. So devotees are requested to participate enthusiastically. So this verse is a question by Shaunak Rishi, and this question is being asked to Suta Goswami. One question slightly out of the context. This name Suta is not a personal name. It's the name of a class. Like Prakashananda Saraswati. Saraswati is a class. It's a caste. Keshav Bharti. Bharti is a caste. Sarvam Bhattacharya. Bhattacharya is a caste, right? So Suta is a caste. It's a caste of those who were expert storytellers. They used to memorize hundreds and thousands of verses using intonation, context, interpretation like that. And they were expert storytellers because in the ancient times, the knowledge was oral. It was not present in written form, right? So these Sutas were expert storytellers. So Suta is the name of the caste. What's the actual name of Suta Goswami? It comes at one place in Bhagavatam. No, Mataji. Starts with U. Comes in third canto. Ugrashava. Shri Shri Radha Gokulananda ki. Shri Sita Ram Lakshman Hanuman ki. So this is mentioned only in one place. 3.3rd canto, 20th chapter. Text 7 or 8. Evam Ugrashava Prishta. So that's the only place where it's mentioned. So Ugrashava. What's the meaning of Ugrashava? Loud voice. Not really. One who is Ugra for Shravana. One who is very eager for the process of hearing about Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada was telling that Suta Goswami had heard Bhagavatam from whom? Shukdev Goswami. In the audience, when Suta Goswami was speaking, there were 88,000 sages. When Shukdev Goswami was speaking, how many sages were there, or how many people were there? One? At least two were there. One is Parikshit and the other one was Suta. Anyone knows? Okay, so if you get to know, let me know, because even I don't know. So, and yes, Suta Goswami, because he heard from Shukadev Goswami, he starts citing Bhagavatam by offering prayers to Shukadev Goswami. The first time when the term Suta Uvacha comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, that's where Suta Goswami offers pranams to Shukadev Goswami. Anyone knows the verse number? First time when Suta Uvacha comes? 1.2.2 and 1.2.3. These two are the pranam mantras of Shukadev Goswami. Yam pravrajantam anapetam veta krityam. This is 1.2.2 and 1.2.3 is Yasyana bhavam akila shrutisaram. These two are pranams of Shukadev Goswami. So some general knowledge. Okay, coming back to the class. Srila Prabhupada started by glorifying Maharaj Yudhishthir. He was telling that he had killed many people, but that killing was righteous because it was dharma yuddha. Many atatais were killed, aggressors. Then Prabhupada gave the definition of an aggressor or atatai. Anyone would like to answer that? Yes. One who's trying to
Krishna. If someone comes to your home to kidnap your other half or trying to kill you, you should kill them before they try to do. That's the best thing, rather than, oh, I'm a Vaishnava, I have to embrace. That's the rascalism. That's what Prabhupada insists.
And this Maharaj Yudhishthir, he was so much dharmic that he even refused to follow the instruction of Krishna when Krishna asked him to tell a lie. What lie was asked by Krishna? What lie did Krishna ask from Yudhishthir to speak? Yes. Sorry. Go ahead. Louder, please. Ashwathama is dead. Right. Then Prabhupada tells, this was not dharma. This was too much religious. The correct religion is dharmam tu sakshat bhagavad pranitam. What Krishna is telling, that is religion. We cannot manufacture religion. We cannot manufacture dharma. Then Prabhupada was giving an example in this. Anyone remembers? Right. If a law is there, it has to be given by the government. We cannot make it. Then Prabhupada also talked about Hindus say cow killing is adharma. Yes. But this is not appropriate because we have to follow what Krishna says. We don't have to follow what this dharma says or that dharma says. Right? And yes, Prabhupada was quoting some verses from CC. Ei bhala, ei manda, saba, ei saba brahma. All this is brahma, mental concoction. And so, what is actual dharma? Sarva dharman parityajya. This is what is Krishna is telling us, that give up all religions and take my shelter. And this is what Lord Chaitanya asked us to do. Yeah, yes, Param Karuna Prabhuji.
Prabhupada is speaking about dharma yuddha, and we should be ready to attack, we should be ready to kill if necessary. So then, does that mean all Vaishnavas, like, or are we talking about certain Vaishnavas, they should be ready to kill? What about Brahmana Vaishnavas? Should they also be ready to kill? And the second question is, if that's the case, should we train ourselves to kill? Because otherwise we will be killed and dharma won't be upheld, right? If the whole idea is we should uphold dharma.
So your first question was, are only Kshatriya Vaishnavas allowed to kill, or even the Brahmana Vaishnavas are allowed to kill?
To uphold dharma.
Even non-Vaishnavas are allowed to kill, Prabhuji. Killing is allowed by anyone and everyone as long as that is dharmic.
Okay.
As long as that is done when there is an absolute necessity. So even non-Vaishnava can kill. So, and then comes part 2 of your question, should we train ourselves to kill? There are so many exalted Vaishnavas here. Would anyone like to answer this?
Yes, Srila Prabhupada wanted that in our society, we train a class of Vaishnavas who are Kshatriyas by propensity and inclination to defend our temple, to defend our devotees, and not just allow all the terrorists and gun violence and Hindu haters and so on to come and finish our devotees or to desecrate our temples. And that's why Varnashram College was something that Srila Prabhupada wanted, to train all the classes of Vaishnavas.
Yes, I agree with what Mataji said. And I've heard this, not read it, but I try to make reference of my statements as things which I've read, but I've heard this from a reliable source. So one devotee was telling, Srila Prabhupada even said that those people who stay in the Haryana and Punjab region in India, they are by nature Kshatriyas. So they can be hired or trained for the protection of our temples. So we inaugurated a temple in Delhi NCR in a place called Bahadurgarh. So that time we were having a very hard time preaching to them because all of them were very blunt in their dealings. So we asked this question, why is it so? So they told, because they are Kshatriyas by nature.
Hare Krishna. Can I say something?
Yes,
Prabhuji, Parama Karuna Prabhuji, to your question, yeah, so long ago, no, around 42 years ago, there was a attack on our temple in Mayapur, and after that I heard from right sources like in Chopati that we hired black cat commandos to deter them. So they had done lots of things, the Naxalites as well as the communists, as well as there was some other Muslim invaders, and I don't want to go into history, but that was the reason why we had hired Kshatriya race, and these are called like black cat commandos. So they had all AK-47 guns, and they had all the ammunition, and they had all the swords, arrows, bows, everything like Rambo. And nobody came after that. I've never heard anything in these 42 years.
Yes, Damodar.
Thank you. I have a question about...
Can you hold on? In this regard?
No, it's a different question.
Can you go back to Prabhuji? He has something to add. I'll come back to you, Prabhu.
Prabhupada also speaks about keeping to the laws of the land. Now, in many countries, when someone tries to protect their property and end up hurting the thief and so on, and maybe even killing, then those persons actually end up in prison. So then that's going against laws of the land. But at the same time, we're talking about if someone's trying to steal something, someone's trying to hurt, then we should be ready to kill them. So there's also that factor as well. No one is encouraged in general population, like general society, that they should kill only police, right? Those who are trained, soldiers like that. Yeah.
I'm not sure about this, Prabhuji, because I myself never studied law, so cannot comment much on this. But if you're because you're asking my opinion, so in my humble opinion, I would say some basic protection everyone should know. In the sense, let's say some guy is married and some XYZ fellow or some stranger is attacking his wife. So he has to offer protection, right? So he should know how to do top, left, right, up, down, bottom of that fellow, But he should know how to do top, left, right, up, down, bottom of that fellow. So basically, in front of deities, I don't know how to use the wrong term. So yeah, I think, you got my point. Yes, Damodar Prabhu.
Thank you, Prabhu. I was just trying to understand when Sripad mentioned about the Hindu and the Muslim in terms of dharma and adharma for cow eating or meat eating, and I was trying to understand. Sripad spoke about all their different things it's all mental speculation or concoction. So I was trying to understand that because the Hindus, it's the Vedic scriptures that Hinduism is adhering to, and of course others have their own scriptures, so it's based on scripture.
Yeah. What I understood from this is, Srila Prabhupada is trying to tell that a particular religion may or may not be right in the statements which they are passing. It might be aligned with the scriptures or might not be aligned with the scriptures. So therefore, don't go by their statements just to be safe. Go by Krishna's statements. That's what I understood. Yes, Pranab Prabhu.
So, Prabhu, if there is a ruler, let's say, who is following the concocted dharma, do we always have to be on the defensive when it comes to violence, or can we be a bit more proactive?
I don't know why you all are asking questions on fighting violence from me. I'm not a martial arts expert or anything, I don't know. Yes, Madhu.
Prabhu's question is very relevant for our times. The world is going through a very, very difficult time, and the safety, security of our devotees is as important as their shastric knowledge, their pujari capacities, their book distribution capacity, and so on. So when safety and security is concerned, we have to plan, we have to strategize, we have to be proactive. We can't just be sitting ducks, for some terrorists to come and wreak havoc on us. So this calls for long-term strategic planning. That means a think tank must be established, I don't know, at every level, I would think, local, international, and so on, for the safety and security of devotees.
Jai.
Sorry?
Please introduce yourself. We don't know who you are.
My name is Sri Devi Dasi.
And then from where have you come? Because the audience is on the internet.
I now live in Mayapur Dham, but I spent 20 years in America as a preacher for Krishna consciousness. I travel and preach in Europe, America, and India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So I think...
Haribol, just to add to the discussion, and there's a verse in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna tells Arjuna, he says, give up all anxieties for gain and safety.
So how is this related to this?
I think a devotee, he's surrendered to Krishna. He accepts Krishna as his only protector and his only maintainer. And the devotee's only anxiety is how to serve Krishna, and he knows that Krishna will protect him in all circumstances, so he's not anxious about his safety, nor does he make arrangements much for that.
I have a question on this then, Mataji. Then is it okay to take service from Krishna? Or should we prepare ourselves not to take service from Krishna?
The devotee just tries to serve Krishna in his capacity. He doesn't think about himself. Krishna thinks about his devotee. That's Krishna's business.
Okay, it's 8:30. Yes, Karan. Okay. Okay.
bikes, who came on bikes and they wreaked havoc in New Vrindavan. Devotees were attacked, some were killed, Radharani was thrown to the floor, all kinds of horrible things happened. And Srila Prabhupada said, get guns, be prepared to defend yourselves.
All right. Karan, you still have the comment? Can we pass the mic here? This is the very last comment.
Thank you for allowing my comment despite time being passed. It just occurred to me that when Durvasa Muni was threatening Ambarish Maharaj, he did not retaliate, and so he chose the option not to use violence. So I don't know if this adds anything to the discussion, but yeah. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Granthra Srimad Bhagavatam ki. Gaur Premanande. But you're going. I don't mind, but I don't think it's appropriate to give the garland which I wore to the car. I don't mind personally.
Mataji was asking can you, after the class is finished,
Hare Krishna, Hare